The University of Catania is a university located in Catania, Italy, and founded in 1434. It is the oldest university in Sicily, the 13th oldest in Italy and the 29th oldest university in the world. With a population of over 60,000 students, it is the main university in Sicily. Departments. Following the Italian higher education reform introduced by the Law 240/10 and adopted by the University of Catania in its new statute, faculties have been deactivated and departments have been reorganized. The University of Catania has now 23 departments that, additionally to the traditional assignments of scientific research, are in charge of the organization and management of educational activities. History. The university was founded by King Alfonso V of Aragon on the 19th of October 1434. A charter was granted after two royal councillors convinced the king to accept the founding of a Studium Generale in Catania, with the papal recognition arriving 10 years later from Pope Eugene IV. Alfonso V with this gesture wanted to compensate the city for moving the Sicilian capital from Catania to Palermo. The activity of the Athenaeum actually started a year later, in 1445, with 6 professors and 10 students. The first 4 faculties were medicine, philosophy, canon and civil law and theology. Lessons were initially held in a building in Piazza del Duomo, next to the Cathedral of St. Agatha, and eventually moved to the Palazzo dell'Università in the late 1690s. This building remains the seat of the university to this day. The first degree was awarded to Antonio Mantello, from Syracuse, in 1449. During the course of the 16th century, approximately 20 to 25 degrees were awarded each year. The university was named Studium Generale because it was the only entity that could release degrees equal to those released in the old Studia of Salamanca, Valladolid, Bologna, and this contributed to spread envy in the other Sicilian cities that in culture and traditions didn't feel inferior to Catania. In 1934, the university celebrated its 500th anniversary with King Vittorio Emanuele III of Italy, and, in 1984, the 550th one. In the early centuries of its existence, the university was administered by the Comune of Catania, overseen by the Bishop of Catania and protected by the royal power. But with the reform operated by the Viceroy in 1679, the authority of the bishop prevailed. He had the control over the lecturers, the freshmen and students' curriculum. This led to various conflicts between the civil and religious authorities. From 1818, the office of Grand Cansiere was assigned to the president of the Great Civil Court, instead of the bishop. List of university scholars historic and famous. Humanities. Giuseppe de Felice Giuffrida, an important Italian politician and journalist, was elected the first socialist mayor of Catania in 1902. Mario Rapisardi, noted Italian poet and translator, taught at the university in the 1870s. Love truth more than glory, more than peace, more than life. Make it your sword and your shield. Luigi Capuana was an important writer, journalist, literary critic and theorist. He taught literature in the early years of the 20th century. Giovanni Verga, famed Italian realist writer, author of the Cavalleria Rusticana I Malavoglia. Santo Mazzarino, a leading 20th century historian of ancient Rome and Greece. Vitaliano Brancati was an Italian novelist and screenwriter, winner of the 1950 Bagota Prize. Elia Zola, an Italian essayist, philosopher philosopher and historian of religion, taught linguistics in the late 1960s. World Science Agostino San Martino Pardo, astronomer and mathematician, taught mathematical analysis and calculus at the university from 1816 to 1841. He contributed to the calculation of the orbit of Ceres, the first asteroid discovered. Giuseppe Mercalli, inventor of the Mercalli scale of earthquake intensity, was professor of geology in the late 1880s. Annibale Ricco, named chair of astrophysics in 1890, was the first director of the Catania Observatory. He was also chancellor of the university from 1898 to 1900. The crater Ricco on the Moon, as well as the asteroid 18462 Ricco, are named for him. Guido Fubini, author of Fubini's theorem, was a professor of mathematics in the early years of the 20th century. The asteroid 22495 Fubini is named in his honor. Remo Ruffini, a former assistant professor at Princeton University, was professor of theoretical physics from 1976 to 1978. He was named Space Scientist of the Year in 1992. Paolo Maffei, director of the Catania Observatory from 1975 to 1980, was one of the pioneers of infrared astronomy. He discovered two galaxies, Maffei 1 and Maffei 2, in 1967. A main-belt asteroid, 18,426 Maffei, is also named for him. Giuseppe Colombo, physicist and astronomer, NASA consultant and early proponent of tethered satellites. Asteroid 10,387 Bepi Colombo is named in his honor, as is the Colombo Gap, a 150 km gap in the sea-ring of the planet Saturn. Napoleone Ferrara, molecular biologist, winner of the 2010 Lasca de Bachi Clinical Medical Research Award, is a 1981 graduate of the Faculty of Medicine. Points of interest. Orto Botanico dell'Università di Catania, the university's botanical garden, founded in the late 1840s. Catania Astrophysical Observatory, the university's observatory, founded in 1890.